Welcome to Staying Up with Cammie and Taryn. I'm Cammie.
And I'm Taryn. And we get to have a sleepover every night. But every week, we invite you to join us. So thanks for staying up with us, y'all.
We're filthy liars. We're not going to bed. It's morning. Coffee cheers.
We're just getting started. Cheers, me love. Can we reach?
Oh, I don't know.
Nice.
Taryn and I are sat very far from each other. We are trying to work out our audio issues. I'm sure you guys...
Don't lie. We're fighting.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be near her. I'm sure you noticed last week our audio, something horrible happened. We're not really sure. It sounded like it was coming out of our computers instead of our microphones. So if you got through last week's episode anyways, thank you. Not many people commented on it, which I was shocked by.
I don't know that it was very engage worthy. It was very...
No. Not people comment on thing. Oh my God. Why are you dissing our thing? People didn't comment on the fact that the audio was bad. Taryn, it wasn't worth talking about. There was no CTAs.
No. I just meant it was us talking about our wedding venue. So
people loved it.
Okay.
I got so many people. You know what? That's what it was. People felt bad for us because if you didn't listen to last week's episode, our wedding venue canceled on us and we're 3 months out from our wedding. People felt so bad they didn't want to also throw on us, hey, your audio is shit.
Yeah.
That's very nice. You guys are nice people.
Nice people you are. Thank
Incredible.
you for being nice.
Thank you. But hopefully you're hearing this nice and crisp, clear. Little ASMR moment for you. I hope our vocal cords are caressing your eardrums like little angels.
Let's try to titillate our listeners.
Hate that word.
Ready? Hi. Oh, I love you. I want to kiss your little cheek.
I can't hear what you're saying, and I don't want to. So I hope everyone else
I want to kiss your
that.
little cheek.
Oh, cute.
You choose which cheek.
Oh, dirty.
Consent king.
Yay.
How we doing?
Also, we are sorry that this is very delayed. As y'all know, with our wedding venue canceling, it's been a crazy week. So we just really haven't had time to record, which is why Friday morning, bright and early, we're recording this for you so we can get it up today so we do not technically miss a week. We are dedicated. We love you guys.
We do be loving you. And normally we review the reviews, right? That's our little gag. That's our little gag gizmo. We're not doing that today. Although we are tallying what we need to donate, what we're excited to donate based on how many reviews we got. So we will tell you that next week.
We forgot to screenshot how many reviews we had prior because, like I mentioned, we switched over the Uneducated podcast to this one. So we're not counting the amount. You know what? Maybe we just do that. Because I was going to say we have to go through and we literally have to find where they changed to reviews for Staying Up from Uneducated. You know what? I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to donate. We are going to donate $1 for every review, and we're not going to count them. Whatever they have and what they previously were.
It's probably, did we give a cap? Because I think
we didn't
totaled. It's probably $1,500, which is fine.
Perfect. We will let you guys know next week the exact amount that we are donating to Glisten.
Which means you just buy yourself another week to leave a review.
Oh,
I know.
Do it. Yeah, because we're not gonna know. We're not gonna count. We're too lazy, and our laziness has translated into us being philanthropists.
Absolutely. Isn't that how it works for everyone?
Yeah, honestly,
I do think it takes a lot of work to be a philanthropist.
To a true one, yes. Yeah. But people can be lazy. That's the thing. I'm like, it's easy.
Yeah.
I don't care. You can do stuff. It's not that hard.
But what I was going to say is thank you to everyone who leaves reviews. I'd also like to give a special shout out to anyone who posts this show on your story or shares about it on Twitter or does anything that you certainly don't need to do.
But you should.
But really matters. The goal, my secret sneaky goal for this podcast is that it just becomes a thing that you and I do for a long, long time and is a revenue driver for us, is a community builder for us, is just a thing that you and I have in our arsenal and becomes a thing that we focus on.
Me too.
More than a hobby. I think that would be fun.
I totally agree. And podcasts are my favorite form of social media, if you want to call it that. I think it's so personal. I love just chit-chatting instead of creating snappy videos and pictures. This is way more my jam, and I feel so much more connected to people listening. It's so fun to do with you. Yeah. And I just think it'll be a really cool audio diary to watch us go through these seasons and chapters of our lives.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I hope we keep doing this for a really long time, and we really appreciate your support in helping us keep it going.
And our goal is to get this baby up like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday energy. But as you'll see, sometimes that won't work given life. But it never hurts me when I see like a little like waiting for staying up podcast moment show up. I'm like,
y'all want us? Do you miss me?
So yeah, cool. Okay, that felt very professional. That whole beginning segment.
Wow.
I don't know.
You feel good about it?
No. I mean, it felt very like we were like running through a list of things.
Oh, like so planned.
Yeah.
Like,
How do we like?
tell me something. Tell me something crazy.
Tell me something crazy.
What do you have? What do you have?
Oh, I have a new obsession with rec leagues. It's all I want to do.
Yeah. And oddly, they're like following you everywhere. We were listening to an episode of Normal Gossip podcast we love. Please have us on the show. It's like my dying wish. And it was about queer rec kickball.
Rec leagues, for anyone unfamiliar, that's like, your little, it's short for recreational leagues. It's like adults playing sports. And some of them are serious, some of them are not serious. And I got called up into the big leagues. I got to play in a men's softball game on Wednesday.
Softball's so intense for a rec league.
So intense.
It's like a legit sport.
And it was a bunch of like industry men too, which
oh yeah,
because they're all Matt's friends.
I forgot.
And so I was like,
are you intimidated?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, are these people secretly behind some of my favorite shows or my favorite music or whatever? So I'm like,
I can't believe your brain could even go there in the moment. I'd be so nervous of like, I gotta be good at this. I hate being bad at things. I couldn't even think about who they were.
No, but that escalated it. It was me wanting to be good at sports, which I care so deeply about.
So deeply.
And then me being like, who is my audience? Not only is it a bunch of men I don't know.
Yeah.
Save a couple. And it's people that like could, have some say in like what I care about in life. Yeah. So anyway, it was very weird.
But you did great.
But I did great, you guys.
So great.
Out of my 4 at-bats, either 5 at-bats or 4 at-bats, I hit the ball 3 times.
Incredible.
No. I hit the ball every time except for 1. I struck out 1 time.
I mean, I like those odds.
The guys were like, that's so hard. That's so impressive that you did that. And I was like, I know.
I will say Matt did message me.
No.
No, because
No. Was it a video of me?
No. Oh my God. Are there videos?
No, I don't know.
No, I posted the little picture of you before you went to the game, all excited. And he said she crushed it. But then followed up with, I may have overestimated her speed on the base pass though. And
okay.
She did tell me that.
There was a moment where, there's like first base coaches and third base coaches. I don't play team sports. I've played tennis my whole life.
Legit coaches?
No, like Matt was there and then another guy was they go and stand there.
It sounds so intense. Were there like refs and stuff?
There was a ref.
Stop
I was
it.
so chummy with the ref. We were chatting about Netflix documentaries about like the sports embezzling documentary. Anyway, because I played catcher, so I was really close to him. But anyway,
got it.
You have to listen to them because they are watching the whole field.
Yeah,
and
they
so
can
they're
tell.
Like, okay, run.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to keep running, so I slowed down at second base, and then like, Matt was like, "Run!" when the ball was already coming towards me.
At that point, you've already pulled back from your speed.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to like gear up again.
My
That's
anxiety
a lot of time.
dropped because I was like, "Okay, I'm starting to relax."
Yeah.
And what sucked is Matt tricked me. He was wrong.
So
he made me look
Matt's
stupid.
fault. Yeah.
I got out at third. And then he laughed. And Kevin laughed together, being like, "Oh, haha. Oh, I shouldn't have made that call." And I'm like, okay, it's not about my speed. It's about your judgment.
Yeah. And then he doubled down on that opinion and said it to me. Now he's embarrassing you in front of your fiance.
I might text him after this.
You should.
Honestly, he lives on our street.
You should show up at his house.
Let's break his windows.
Yeah. Let's TP his house.
No. Burn it down.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm
just kidding. Matt, you're not listening. But if you were, I love you.
No stakes in the game because you're not listening.
No
to this
stakes
right
in the
now
game.
At all. But also, I feel like a lot of people always ask like how to meet new friends in a city or how to meet more queer people, whatever it may be. If you like sports or even just sometimes, like Taryn said, they're not always super serious. This is my worst nightmare, so this isn't my thing. But So I'm going into it with like, maybe don't do this. But it actually is a really great way to meet people. I have a lot of friends who do the kickball queer league in LA. I've had friends who do like the more intense soccer one. It's a really easy, fun way to meet people. You go to like a bar after. A lot of them you get like, if you win your game, you get a free pitcher of beer. Or I think if you lose it is when you get the free pitcher.
Depends on the league. Yeah.
But it's such a good way to meet friends. So
yeah,
so this episode was sponsored by Rec Leagues.
I would say that was my week's highlight.
Yeah.
There was something so sweet about all of these grown men, 30s and 40s,
playing a little game.
Just like, come on, Bob, you got it, Bob.
Cute.
And chewing sunflower seeds and like why are we all doing this? This is so cute. And I was
It's
like,
so
don't
sweet.
you guys feel like kids? And someone was like, that's why we do it.
Exactly.
So anyway, that was my highlight. What was your highlight this week, honey?
Your highlight was playing a game. My highlight was finding our wedding venue.
Oh, but I mean, that was kind of last week if you think about it.
That was Monday.
Okay, well,
You're right.
What was your personal highlight? Because that's our together highlight.
I really enjoyed babysitting your little niece Mia last night.
Mm-hmm.
That was so much fun.
It was special.
You're really good with kids, and it's really fun to watch that. It's like
I felt the same about you the whole time.
I just have no fears about having a kid with you, and I think probably
that's incredible.
Because most people have a lot of fear.
Many fears.
Oh shit. Okay. Cool.
Not about you.
No, that's what I mean. I have a million fears about having a kid, but I'm like, I picked the right partner to do that with. I feel like solid, which is
I think
nice.
will be great. Someone asked me on Tuesday who was like the fun mom, who would be the fun mom, and who would be the like.
You would be the fun mom, which is so annoying.
I think it's completely dependent on what it is.
The situation.
Yeah, because
that's good because then it's very balanced.
There are certain things that I think you'll be like, oh my God, Taryn, it's fine. Like, let them go do this. And I will be like, yeah, right. And then I think
I think it'll be like, as kids, you'll be the fun parent because they won't really realize those things. And then teenagers, I'm going to be like, they gotta live life.
Yeah.
So if they're like, can I go out with Jessica and come home at midnight? I'm going to be like, yeah, just call us. Let us know. Like, trust you until you give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be like, they're going to do drugs and have sex and they're going to, I'm like, yeah, they probably are. That's okay.
I'm going to be like, put on your AirTag jacket, and it's going to be a jacket covered in AirTags. And so I'm going to be able to watch them at all times. Not watch them, but know where they are. That's my thing. I don't care. I don't actually care what you're doing. I just want to be able to come get you.
Yeah.
If you
Totally.
don't respond or something like that.
100%. Yeah. You just want your kid to be safe. I mean, that's every parent. They're doing it out of a place of love, but it sometimes gets hard. But like, yeah, I think there will be moments where I'm like, no, this needs to happen. And like, yeah, I would love to go run around and play with you outside, but this and this and this needs to go down, where you're going to be like, no, it's okay. We'll just go play first.
Yeah.
Which I love because sometimes like, yeah, I need to relax and go play first.
But you're so playful. Like, you were playing with Mia so much yesterday.
Yeah.
Like being so silly, running around. She's like 7 laps, 8 laps, 10 laps. And you were like running your little heart out.
Yeah.
I
Well,
that
I
really
don't mind. It's more of like the day-to-day house where I'm going to be like, well, before we go here, we have to get this thing done. Like, I think I will keep a little structure and order going on, and you'll be more fun in that sense. And then I'll give them a bit more freedom than you will. So yeah, I think we both are fun and strict in our own ways.
I did find myself a little annoying yesterday in that I need to know. I'm very hyper aware in a more negative way than positive way, I think. And, of my surroundings, of people, of everything, of noises, just like and I kept checking in on Mia. Like do you notice that? Like when we were on the couch, I kept being like, you good, Mia? Do you need anything?
Yeah.
You
I
good,
just thought
Mia?
you were just trying to like make sure she had fun.
I
was.
Like,
does she have water?
It was also just me being like she would was itching her face a ton and not itching, but just touching her eye a lot. And I was just like, fuck, what if something is going on and she doesn't know how to communicate that to us?
Yeah. She's a smart kid.
And then when she was brushing her teeth, I went into the bathroom to make sure she was okay. And she was kind of like poking her eye. And I was like, is something wrong with your eye, Mia? She's like, no, I'm trying to wink.
I heard you guys say that. That's what she was trying to do this whole time. She's like, come on, one eye blink.
She's
that
like, I can't do it with this eye. And I was like, I can only do it with one eye. And she was like, me too. I can only do it with one eye.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, dude, I'm just being hyper aware for nothing. Like, this child is just being cute and trying to make her eye
But I'm
wink.
kind of glad you're hyper aware because you wouldn't have known that.
That's
and
true.
that's adorable.
Yeah. Well, that was a highlight. I'm glad you enjoyed that as much as I did.
Yeah, it's so fun. She's so cool.
And go on about our big highlight.
Oh my gosh.
Capital H highlight.
Thank goodness. So last Monday, as you guys heard on the podcast, I'm so confused by my weeks. Not last Monday, whatever. On a Monday, when we are going to do our photo shoot, we find out we lose our wedding venue. Friday, we drive to Palm Springs. We wake up at 5 a.m., throw the dogs in the car, a little family trip. We go to Palm Springs and we end up seeing 3 wedding venues over the weekend. We were only going to go up for like a day. And then we kept getting more randomly venues were available in March. Everyone keeps saying like, there's no way that these are available. Like, this is crazy. Every venue is like, this is wild that it's open. But we're like, but they are. So is it that wild? I didn't know if I should feel lucky or like they're trying to con us.
Both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
It's both.
March is a highly sought after month in Palm Springs. So there was a big possibility that we were not going to find a venue that we liked, let alone loved, for the same date. I think we didn't really discuss it going in. I think we didn't want to stress ourselves out. But I think to both of us, we did not want to change the date of our wedding.
Yeah.
That would have just caused so much more stress and chaos.
I don't think it would have been an issue for my side because we're mostly West Coast. But I think
but the hotel block, having to it's just
I wasn't even
so
thinking
much.
about that, but I was more so just like, I don't want to make your family have to change their flights. That seems dramatic.
Yeah, and I don't know if they could. I don't know if people could afford it. It was, there's a possibility that this could have gotten a lot worse, which is why I think so many people kept being like, why are you not more stressed or worried about this? But I just didn't want to worry until I had a reason to. So we got to Palm Springs, saw 3 venues, fell in love with one. It's so beautiful. It's so perfect. And we get to keep all of our same vendors. It's super close to the hotel that we already have our room block out. Like,
it's perfect.
It could not have worked out better.
It's honestly better than the original
Yeah.
villa by far.
A little bit more expensive, which
She more expensive.
that was the problem. Like, the last place we saw was significantly more affordable. And we were like, it was hard to not just focus on that. Like, it was a big, big, big save.
And the lady was so sweet.
She was
their
so sweet.
website, the website for this one venue that we saw revealed that the owners were like super Christian. And I was like, that doesn't scare me. Could possibly scare Cammie to some extent, but
Depends what kind of Christians.
the way
ones
that
or
they
bad
were going about it online was kind of spooking me.
It was really spooking me.
Cammie found the daughter's TikTok. And she's like
A little mini preacher.
a little mini preacher.
It was like low-key kind of cute and creepy all at the same time. I didn't know how to feel about it.
Like, she would be like, stop scrolling. Do you know where you're going when you die? Like that. And she's like 11.
But like really talented at TikTok because I was like, this would grab people's attention.
Yeah. I converted back.
Oh God.
Just kidding. But so I was like, I don't know that they'll host our wedding. That's more what I care about. I don't want to go through all this and then they don't serve the gays. And then we had our wedding planner like tease like, hey, the brides are coming, and the lady never said anything. She was totally fine. And then when we got there, we toured the venue, loved it.
But the woman who toured it is not part of the family. She just works there.
And she, at the end, I was like, hey, I like, kind of a weird question, but I feel like I should ask. Like, I know that the founder or the owners are super Christian. Would they be, have they had gay weddings? Would they be open to hosting our wedding here? And she like kind of got emotional and was like, absolutely they would. Like, it won't be an issue. I'm so sorry you have to ask this. I'm a Christian as well, blah, blah, blah. And it was a sweet little moment. And that made me almost want to pick it a little bit more. But I'm really glad that we didn't because it was a little too small for us.
Yeah.
And the other venue is just like, y'all, it's going to be a rage.
All the boxes. I think what it really came down to, like, we are happy to make compromises on style or space or really anything else, especially to save that bit of money. But whenever it came down to our experience, like how much we're going to enjoy it. So the noise ordinance issue in Palm Springs is crazy. And that really more affordable, nice place was by neighbors. So basically there's somebody walking around with like a decibel reader, making sure you're not being too loud. I'm like, are we just going to feel like we can't, like we're walking on eggshells at our wedding? It's not going to be fun. And the next place is like, we can be out as late as we want. There's no noise restraints. Like we are just going to have the best, most epic wedding. I'm so excited.
A couple of my best friends went to a wedding there recently and said it was just like
the best.
Amazing. And they all stayed up. They all stayed, like they went swimming after until like so 2 a.m.
Cute.
Like so fun.
I love it.
I think it's the right call.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that it happened in a week.
I know.
Which is just bizarre because it completely mirrors our experience getting a house where we like picked a realtor and then had the house in a week, which is absolutely unheard of. And then the same thing happens with this where we have like this earth-shattering thing. Mm-hmm. In, you know, whatever. It's not actually earth-shattering, but to us it was at the time. Yeah. And then in a week it's solved and better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just crazy.
It's my new life motto. Give everything a week.
Give it a week
before you stress out. Give it a week. And let's see how we're feeling.
Yeah.
Don't panic. You don't know how it's going to unfold. You don't know. This could be like the best thing that's ever happened to you. And in our case, like, I'm so glad we didn't stress and freak out because it did work out better.
Yeah.
So we could have spent a week being like miserable and irritable and just upset, or we could chill out, enjoy it. We got to go to Palm Springs for a weekend. We had so much fun. 2 of our friends came up. We had the best time. So win-win-win.
We had
the best time.
Lovely.
Okay, we are going to implement a new segment on the show. So we want this to feel more like a proper sleepover. And at sleepovers, sometimes you do a weird activity, a little truth or dare, never have I ever. Mm-hmm. You ask like the most random questions. It's like when you really get to know your people. It's the worst thing when you miss a sleepover and all your friends are having one.
You're set back for years.
Oh, I keep seeing these TikToks of like things I wouldn't do at, you know, like I wouldn't do as a doctor or vet, whatever. There's ones that's like as a, I forget what it is, but it said like not letting your kids have sleepovers because you can't control the environment. I was like, I can't do that to our kids.
Absolutely not.
I'd rather put a camera in the people's house and watch the whole sleepover than not let them come. I wouldn't do that.
Some of the best nights of my life were sleeping over with friends.
And it was so sad Monday at school if you missed that sleepover. Oof. So
I never missed them.
I want to have those chats. I want to get to know Taryn a little bit more. I want to get to know y'all a little bit more. And I want y'all to get to know us a little bit more. So my question for this morning's sleepover.
Yes.
As we're sipping our coffee.
Our Friday morning sleepover.
So we won't make it too raunchy because we don't have enough liquid courage in our system.
I could raunch it up.
You could raunch it up?
Yeah.
I don't have a raunchy question.
Okay, that's fair.
My question is a very basic one. I think it's a hard one, and I think sometimes we overthink it. So I didn't want you to have time to overthink it.
Okay, I'm here.
If you could invite 3 people, dead or alive, to have dinner with you, who would they be? All together. So you want to think about dynamics a little bit too. But don't overthink it.
The first person that popped in my head was Rihanna. And I don't think
Love that.
No, I just
Why?
think that it was just...
That's okay.
Of all the people in the entire world.
So?
Yeah, I know. I just don't know that that's actually would be that additive.
Okay.
It'd be exciting.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
It would be all about her then too, you know. You wouldn't really care about your other 2 guests because who could rival that?
Do you know your answer?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
I have my first one, which is going to be such a random one. That's just been in my head.
Anne Frank?
Emma Chamberlain.
Oh.
I've been like becoming...
Did you hear me?
No.
I said Anne Frank?
No. I mean, cool.
Oh my God, this just in. Cammie will not invite Anne Frank to her dinner party.
It's so random. I mean, it's like, who are they today in my mind? These are for everyone. I have just really...
so random, honey.
I know.
Shocked by this information.
Well, I was looking at her Instagram the other day and I was like, I think I love everything she does. Mm-hmm. I think watching her content and who she is, she's almost, I feel like, somebody from the past who has been plopped into the future. She feels very timeless somehow. I think she's incredibly creative, incredibly likable. She is like the most likable social media person I've ever come across.
Yeah.
It's really hard to dislike her. I hope she never has like a fall from grace. I think it's very hard to maintain like likable forever. People almost want to pull those people down. I don't think she's going to do some awful thing. I'm just like, and I would just think I think she'd have some really interesting insight.
I love that.
Thanks.
My first dinner guest would be my grandpa, my mom's dad, because my mom is in love with him. I mean, sorry.
That's okay. You can be in love with your dad.
I just mean my mom like really, really loved him.
Yeah.
She was super similar to him, apparently. I didn't really know him. He died when I was like, I don't know, 5 or something. Like I've met him a couple times, and I remember his presence being like really calming and cool. But I think I would like, my mom and her mom don't have the greatest relationship, and that's like all I've known for like my whole adulthood.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see someone that my mom is so much like and like loves so deeply. And he just seems like a total chiller. And I also think that he would have they're Jewish, and I think that he would have a really cool view of Judaism.
Yeah.
So I would pick him. I feel like he'd be a homie. Milton is the first guest.
Well, now I feel like you also have to have your mom, because how rude of you. She loves her dad so much. You have a chance to see him again.
That's fair.
So you kind of set yourself up that's to your spot. I mean, you don't have to do that.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that'd be cute to see their interaction.
And I actually might not even have a last guest.
Wow. That's really sweet.
I think it would just be that
That's
experience.
really sweet. That's so
I certainly wouldn't invite my brother Jason, because my grandparents are obsessed with my brother Jason.
Yeah, you gotta leave him out.
I cannot be competing with that at this special dinner of mine.
I'm kind of stealing yours because I never met either of my dad's parents, and he just raves about both of them so much. I am going to pick my grandma, though, because everyone says we're really, really similar.
And she was a massive Emma Chamberlain fan.
She was. So I got to do it for her so she can be there. Yeah, I just would love to meet her. Part of me didn't want to say that just because I have this vision of who my grandparents are in my head. I never really had grandparents in general. My mom's dad passed away before I was born, when she was a kid. And my mom's mom, I didn't really get to know her. She wasn't doing so well once I was like old enough to really be aware. So I kind of like, it's almost like this fantasy in my head of like who my grandparents are that I don't know if I want to break that, but I'm just so curious. I don't know my dad's side of the family as well I would like to. So I think it'd be cool to see from like the mother figure, hear about all that.
And in this dinner in your head, Emma Chamberlain and her are together.
Yeah.
And you think it's a vibe.
Probably.
Cool.
I think they're both probably pretty cool people. I don't know if they have anything in common, but we're going to find out over mashed potatoes.
I might throw in like I actually think I'm stopping my dinner. That's it.
Wow.
I don't want to throw a wrench in there out of like personal preference to mess up what I think would be a pretty special evening.
Yeah.
So I would like it to just be us.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Who else do I want there? I want someone with like juicy gossip.
That was my next question for you, is going to be if you could pick 2 people for a chaotic dinner.
Oh my God. That would be,
because that's a different situation.
I more so want somebody to like entertain me, Emma, and my grandma. I'm like, this person, like Marilyn Monroe, be like, what happened? Somebody like that, where I'm like, I get to hear about a mystery. Princess
Elvis?
Di. Elton. No, I don't really care about Elvis that much.
What about Brittany Murphy? Someone with like a mystery death.
Brittany Murphy could totally feel this. I bet her and Emma would get along great.
They would. Yeah, you need someone with a mystery death. I think it'd be a great addition.
Ooh. Yeah, I want somebody like famous, passed away. No, that's
dark, sad,
too sad, too dark
evening.
Yeah, that's
bring everybody down.
Oh, Taryn,
sorry. Okay, can we ask chaotic dinner?
Or I would just have like one of my dogs who passed away to like be there and feed them food under the table.
Oh my
You
God.
should have that.
I would bring Chuki.
Yeah,
because that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just made you the most beautiful.
Honestly, you love me.
You're welcome. I do.
Your dinner sounds whack, and I'm excited for you.
It sounds so fun.
Whack. Whack in that.
Who says whack? First of all, okay.
Honestly, people at my dinner say whack.
Sure, probably.
I guess I didn't mean whack. You're totally right. That was rude.
My dinner sounds super fun.
I'm just worried for you that you're going to try to be deep with family stuff. You're going to be over here being like, Emma, what's it like being like this? Da da da. And then Marilyn Monroe is like, that's so much God. You.
Here's the thing. I don't want to hear about Emma's life. I can watch it on YouTube. Like, I don't want that. I just like her personality. I think she'd be enjoyable.
You want her energy at the dinner.
Yeah. And in this, I'm assuming that like I'm already friendly enough with her. I'm not at all. I've never spoken to her in my life.
Yeah.
That it's just like she's just there and it's kind of fun. She's just witty.
Yeah.
I think she's like it's like having a comedian there to like spice it up, but comedians are annoying to me.
We saw her at a Christmas party and a Halloween party and she was itty bitty.
You and I saw her in San Francisco too, remember?
No.
We were like at that little shopping area by the...
And we saw Emma Chamberlain.
She was there with like someone she was dating, but she wasn't like public about dating. And I was like, oh my God. But I didn't know who she was really enough then. I just remember I came home and I saw something of like someone like took a picture of them. And was like, are they together? And I was like, oh, they are. We saw them like sharing ice cream or something cute. But I just didn't know anything about her back then. So I was like...
I want to say something really salacious that I don't know if I should.
Oh my God, spicy. Say it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
It's about real people in our lives.
Oh my God. I'm so scared.
Can I?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Just guess who I'm talking about. A chaotic dinner.
A chaotic dinner. I have no idea. Say it. Just do it.
If I could be a guest at any dinner, I would love to watch a dinner with...
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
It's not even... I would love to see like a Shannon, Carrie, Becky situation. I know.
I wouldn't. I don't think it would be that
I think
exciting.
It would be when I said it out loud, I don't think that they would take it. I don't think they would take it there.
No, I don't think they would go. One, if they had to.
If they were drunk. I want to see them all wasted and then go to a bar together.
I don't.
That's what I want to see.
You're like the rest of the internet.
I guess I am. Well, it's different because we know them. And I wonder where that conversation would go. Like, I think that people that don't actually know them but know them from the internet would be like, oh my God, they're going to scream at each other. And it's like so tension, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I actually think it would just be a very like intense but calm situation. And I think that would be a fun conversation to watch.
Yeah. Are you a fly on the wall in this situation?
Absolutely.
Or are you like ping pong watching?
I don't know. I think I'd be a fly on the wall. I would hate to be forced to choose any sides when the conversation changes to anything. No. It's like, I can't be doing that.
Yeah. All right.
It's like JoJo and Avery, that lesbian gossip. Like, get me in there.
Yeah, there's allegedly more. Did you see that?
Allegedly count. Bing.
Oh, shit. Drink. Did you see on TikTok that Avery and JoJo, am I saying the right people? Yeah. Avery and JoJo are no longer together speaking. And then JoJo's ex, what's JoJo's ex name? Kai.
Whoa, you're deep.
They're hanging out. Like JoJo had a birthday and Kai was there.
Dude, JoJo's a little fuckboy, isn't she?
Yeah.
Isn't she?
I mean, listen, she is, I don't know how old, early 20s?
I don't know. I feel like she's like 15 in my head.
Early 20s, famous and wealthy, lesbian scene. That's a recipe for, and public figure. Recipe for disaster.
I mean, I guess. I'm just
it's like take the Justin Bieber effect of like too young, too famous, too wealthy, too important, and add in being a lesbian.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
That's a lot. Like young lesbian groups, messy.
Mish.
Anyone who's been a young lesbian in their early 20s.
We've been knowing.
And then you add in like that level. Craziness.
Drama.
There's no way that's not drama.
I just feel like if I was in her shoes, which is completely not a fair statement because I could never understand what she's going through.
Yeah.
But if I was in her shoes, I think I would just be like a tad slower to move.
Move on.
Yeah, from like person to person.
Yeah. Easier said than done. I think, again, the age.
That's so true. If I was 20 and I had all the shit she had, I'd be like Taylor Swift planting seeds left and right, being like, if you read this lyric backwards, it spells my new fling's name, or, you know, shit like that. Like, I feel like I would be doing stuff like that.
And I also wonder the people in her life, I wonder how they are. I know nothing. I'm sure her family is wonderful. Her team's wonderful. I have no idea. But I could imagine, like, if you're in your early 20s and you're seeking advice from older, wiser people in your life, typically they're going to be like, slow down. Like, you don't need to share this. Like, that's your personal life. Like, don't worry about it if breakups happen, but just like, you don't need to put everyone's opinions on it. But because this is also her career.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is great free publicity for her. She's out there. I wonder if they are saying like, live your life. You're young and having fun, which fair enough. But I wonder what that input is. You know what I mean?
I want to be young and rich and famous. That sounds insane.
You want to be?
No, I'm just like.
I think you said I want to be.
Oh, I said rich. To be like that.
I literally can't think of anything worse.
It sounds terrible.
Because you're also then like, probably your family's on your payroll. Like, it really sounds like the worst thing. You're probably always questioning, are people here for the right reasons? Like, even us watching My Unorthodox Life, there's all these new characters this season, and they're all like new people are dating.
Yeah.
I'm like,
don't trust
I
any
don't
of them.
know if I would trust any of these people. And then it would also make me feel crappy about myself when I'd have those thoughts, because I'd be like, why? Am I not good enough on my own? Why would I think that they're... And if other people were like, do they like you for the right reasons? I'd be like, why? Am I not likable?
Yeah.
I think it would be really difficult. So
I get that.
It's like, part of me feels bad watching any TikTok, anything about these people. Because I also really dislike that one girl who does all the lesbian gossip on TikTok. I don't know her name. I'm not even going to say it. You guys know who I'm talking about. I like really can't stand her, and I'll publicly say it. Really? I think she's like she's been labeled like the Perez Hilton of the gays, and I don't think that's a nice title. I feel like, why are you and it's like, you're not just sharing gossip. There are gossip channels that like share what's going on.
She's like biased.
Like Teffy I love, and she'll do all these recaps of like this past drama and gossip and like an update. But unless it's like talking about really offensive things people have done, she keeps her like personal opinions out of it, where like this girl will be mean about people, like just flat out mean. And I just think that I don't like that culture that creates. And she's also really young, so I mean, that was harsh of me to be like, I don't like her, she's awful. I think she'll learn and grow. But I think she got really popular off of like salacious content, and then it's hard to pull back. Really, and I just don't like it, and I'll feel weird when it pops up and I watch it. But then it's also hard because it's like, these people are putting stuff out because they want it out there. They like are hoping people will talk about it. So then do you feel bad? It's like a weird morality dilemma.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point, that like she can't stop doing it almost. It's like she's
built like a career. I'm sure she's like making good money off of it. It's going well.
Yeah.
And she is only talking about people who are putting stuff out there. She's not like, doesn't seem like she's pulling people in who aren't wanting to be talked about. So it's like fair game. I just don't enjoy the way she talks about things.
I guess we just don't know if people actually, what conversations are happening on the side. Like, the stuff that really rubbed me the wrong way was like all the live reporting on like the Soph and Avery breakup, which is, to anyone that isn't on lesbian TikTok, it's just this couple that broke up, that were together for a long time, and then one of them started dating JoJo Siwa. I can't even believe I'm talking about this. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I'm like so embarrassed that I'm talking about this. Whatever. They're all,
but not because we know so much about it, so can't be that embarrassed.
No, but I am. I really am.
All right.
Because what bothers me is like the live reporting aspect of it, where I remember when all this was going on, there was a video of Soph. I don't know, is it Sophie or Sophia?
I have no idea, actually.
Soph. there's video of this girl, Soph, who's like 22.
No idea also.
Yeah. I know she drinks because I've seen her at bars on TikTok. So I know she's at least 21 or has a fake. It doesn't matter. She's out at bars. No, that's not what I was going to say. She's at the airport in this TikTok and whatever, post something. And the whole comment section was people fighting about where the airport was and which direction she was going. They were like, wait, this doesn't make sense because on her story, I think she's flying to LA. No, but on her story, she said that the flight from LA was bumpy, blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah,
that. And I was like, this is literally y'all tracking someone else.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah. I think people love.
That's scary to me.
Totally. I think like trying to figure out details like where people are and all that is creepy because you might not have any ill intent with it, but you're kind of doing the work for people who might.
Yeah.
But it's
like
hard
crime.
because
it's like true crime applied to gossip, where it's like everyone's obsession with like figuring out true crime and being the one
that's
that
what I was gonna say.
Case.
People love like Taylor Swift Easter eggs. Like people love subtle hints and clues. I think the problem with the internet that is kind of all encompassing of this stuff is we think everything is for us. Yeah. Anything anyone posts, so we have to share if we don't like it. And it's like, okay, well maybe that content's not for you. Wasn't making it for you specifically, Sarah from Wisconsin, to love it. Like, I think.
Fuck you, Sarah from Wisconsin.
So sorry if anyone here is Sarah from Wisconsin. Love you. But yeah, I think like that's when it becomes a problem. So we assume, okay, this girl posted in an airport. She wants us to do this. Mm-hmm. It's like, also that is stalker mentality. If anyone's ever had a stalker, they kind of think everything you're doing is for them. That's why you're told not to respond to anything, to say, leave me alone, because then they actually think that you pushing them so that they do it more. Yeah. If you post with another person, they're like, oh, they're trying to make me jealous. Like, stalkers think everything's for you. So it's like, where is that line that just because we're all doing it together and we're not like causing this person any actual harm, well, how is that not a stalker? I mean, I've had online stalkers and they've done the same stuff where it's like they comment on my stuff. Mm-hmm. They tell me they know where I am. Like it's the exact same stuff, but somehow when we do it in masses, it's okay. Yeah. It is really weird.
Yeah, I don't like that you've had stalkers. I'm glad that we have security in our home. But we listen to this podcast called Normal Gossip, and they talk a lot about why gossip is so important to women is because it's like a way to weed out, like in history, it's always been a way to like warn each other about other people
and create a standard for morality in the community.
Well said. Thanks. Yes. And so I think that's why it's so crazy with lesbians specifically, because it's girl on girl crime. It's like lesbian drama. There's no men in the situation to like not care about it. Yeah. That's super stereotypical, or like I'm deeply stereotyping, but like it's just all women. Yeah. And then it's not just about friends. It's like about romantic. It's all this shit. Yeah.
It's an extra layer.
It's an extra layer, and it creates true chaos.
Yeah, it really does.
Let this be a PSA to anyone that indulges in this sort of gossip. Mm-hmm. You could listen to it. You could scroll by. You could have your little finger on the pulse.
I would just like to challenge people to think before they do. Like, before you comment something, think, if I was this person and I saw this, how would I feel? And I feel like a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction are like, well, I just wouldn't do that then. But it's like, yeah, but if you did, if you were in this situation and some stranger said something and you saw it, how would that feel? And don't think about, well, they're not going to see it, or they do. People see stuff. I think just like slow down a little bit. The internet has made us so quick to comment, share our 2 cents. Just like sleep on it. And then if you still feel inclined, like if your voice is adding value and you really think it's that necessary, then go ahead.
Take it in your diary. Ever think about that? Yeah. Write it down in your little diary.
Get a little notes app, and every little like
go wild
annoying troll thing you want to say, type that in your notes and then read it back to yourself and see how you feel about yourself. Because I bet you feel like shit.
Give it a week. Read it back and be like,
oh my
ding, ding, ding.
God. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we're on to something.
Yeah. Because on the comments thing, I read every comment on the internet that's about me, except for like the shitty sites that I refuse to go to because they've made me cry on our early relationship. There's like low key like lesbian gossip sites and people say mean things on them.
They're so scary.
But like if I get mentioned in a video on TikTok, I'll go back and look at the comments again in like 2 weeks and see if there's anything that like, I don't know why, other than like, it's like I'm looking for harm.
Yeah.
Actually.
Self-inflicted flame.
Yeah.
Flame.
Yeah. But that's so stupid that I do that. But
it's hard not to
totally do that. And it sucks and it hurts.
It becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's like, I don't know why we kind of like seek out those negative, because we're not seeking out nice, positive things. And if we do, we're like, oh, and then we read 20 nice things and one bad thing. And we're like,
forever.
It's so weird, but it's like, you just want to know. I think it's like the unknown of what people think about you, but you just got to stop caring. It's like, these people don't fucking know you.
I also think it's totally fair to think about like, if you're a person on the planet and you know that someone is talking about you in a public setting, you can't tell me you wouldn't try to listen. You can't tell me that you wouldn't try to hear those things.
Yeah.
Like
you're in the bathroom stall and 2 people come in and they're talking about you. You're not going to be like, wait,
yes,
I'm here, don't say it. You'd be like,
and the internet has created these little pods, these little, basically little public chat rooms all over the place in the form of comments, in the form of, like mostly comments on YouTube videos, on TikToks, on whatever, where you literally, that if there's going to be a comment about you, conversation about you, it's going to be in this little spot. And it's really hard to not look at. So for anyone on the outside being like, just don't look, it's probably just going to be mean. Don't tell me that if you knew people were talking about you, you wouldn't listen.
Yeah, it's
hard.
Nearly impossible. Do you want to wrap us up with your juicy?
Yes, it's actually more advicey. Cool. I'm going to go anonymous on this, and I'm going to change the names. We received a story from a listener. And it's half story, half advice. Ready? Cool. Cam and Taryn, love you guys. I was just swooning over your engagement pics. Y'all's love for each other is beautiful and inspirational. Cute.
Love you.
Sorry this is long and a little TMI, but that's what sleepovers are for, right?
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely. Do you have any advice/experience on becoming more comfortable with sex? I'm not talking about accepting my sexual identity, because I, a cis queer woman, have known since 7 or 8 years old that I like women. Whoa, that's amazing. 7 or 8.
I think I probably, like in hindsight, I definitely knew too. I don't think I was hyper aware, but yeah.
That sounds scary. I'm talking about being comfortable enough to explore how I experience pleasure and letting myself be vulnerable enough to really experience it. Little background info. In July, I got out of a 3-year relationship with someone. Let's call them Alex. I love you anonymizing this for us. And our sexual relationship died so early on. We were all over each other in the beginning, and I enjoyed the intimacy of it, but we never made each other come. So many red flags. I know. Please don't judge. That's okay. That's
never judging.
Some people just don't come. Anyway, as the relationship progressed, Alex often expressed how unhappy they were with their body and how they wish they were a man. That changed our sexual relationship. When I tried to engage in sex, Alex wasn't in the mood. When Alex tried to initiate sex with me, it was often aggressive and involved no foreplay. Most of the time, Alex only wanted to use a strap-on on me. That's it. I've tried straps a few times and it's really just not for me. Needless to say, we had different ideas of pleasure and sexual initiation was never satisfying.
Yeah, just incompatible sex. That's okay.
This combined with Alex's gender dysphoria, and my own body issues made our sexual relationship shrivel up and die. I literally can't remember the last time we had sex. Definitely more than a year ago. Anyway, we broke up, which is a whole different story. And now I feel freedom to express myself sexually, but I don't know how. I'm just so scared to feel vulnerable and have neglected sex for so long, I don't even know where to start. Any advice on where to begin? Thanks, moms. Please give Frank and Reagan's kisses for me.
We will.
That's from our friend.
I'm sorry. I think going through a relationship like that's really hard when it's that long too, you care about that person, you love that person, you want to like find a way to make it work. And I think now, probably out of it in hindsight, you can see that not being compatible sexually at that level is just you have to decide that you're okay with that forever, and you're probably not. And there's nothing wrong with not being okay with that.
What's interesting is I don't think that that's what broke them up. They said that that's a whole different story of why they broke up.
Yeah, it typically isn't the reason thing. I think my advice with exploring is, one, start exploring with yourself. I think we really don't focus on that enough as a society. Like, learn your body on your own. Be vulnerable with yourself first. Learn how to feel good about yourself and comfy in yourself. Try different things. Obviously, you can't try everything on your own, but you can start.
You can do a lot.
You can do a lot. And you can start understanding like what you enjoy and how to do it so that you can tell somebody what you like. And then my second point of advice would be, when you are intimate with somebody, you can say these things to them. Like, for me, if I can't be vulnerable emotionally, I'm probably not going to have great sex with that person. I'm not going to feel vulnerable sexually as well. So I would just say like, hey, you know what? I was in a really long relationship where we did not match up sexually, and I'd like to explore some things. I don't know what I like and I don't like. So try some stuff. And then you can always tell someone, like, if you try something and you're like, that's definitely not for me, just kidding, don't love that. You tell them that and you don't do it again. I just think if you start feeling vocal to share that with people, you'd be surprised at how much people want to share that. And from my experience, women are really open to hearing that. Like, I think women as a society have been kind of told to like not focus on their pleasure, not be vocal about it. So it's really like a nice, safe, special place when you are with a woman to be like, hey, I really enjoy this, or I think I want to try this. Can we?
And to be honest, that sounds hot.
Yeah. I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
If I was single and someone was like, hey, I don't know what I like, let's try some stuff.
Woo!
Would you be down to like go on a little journey with me over the next month? We try something new every couple days or whatever.
Like that, didn't like that.
Like, that's so fun. Like,
yeah.
Treat it like an experiment, and treat it like a adventure that you're going on, and that it's like something that you might make a turn that you're like, ooh, like dead end. And then sometimes you might be like, oh, this little path led me to this thing that I actually really love.
Exactly.
Baby steps. You can take big steps.
See what fits.
There's no right. Oh my God, hot. She said, see what fits. One thing that I recommend, have you heard of Oh My God, Yes? OMG, yes.
No.
So a long time ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, I saw this article that Emma Watson was a subscriber to this website called Oh My God, Yes.
Yeah.
And so I became a subscriber, tried it for a little bit, still use some of the techniques that I learned that were really fun. It's basically a website that like teaches women, it's like courses for women to learn about how to pleasure themselves and pleasure each other and stuff like that. So it helps you explore different parts of your body. It talks about like masturbation techniques, and like one thing it talked about was like hinting, where it's like if you're using is that what it's called? Hinting? Yeah. Teasing, but only sometimes indulging. And it's like, whatever, you can figure that out. But there's videos that are not sexual.
Educational?
Well, not like, there's no narrative to them. It's like educational.
Yeah.
But it's like women pleasuring themselves and like showing you what they do.
Yeah.
Which is really wild to watch. Yeah. But I found it really
this is so cool,
educational and really cool. And it was something that like, at least learning what I like for myself and like discovering my own body, that like it was a very supportive little experience. So I know it's might sound a little weird.
Give it a try.
Give it a go. Like,
yeah.
I remember I became a subscriber when I was traveling in Amsterdam one time, and I was there by myself for 2 nights or something in a hotel room, and I was like, let's see what I can figure out.
Stuff out. Yeah, I love that. I also feel like you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself, like knowing everything you love right now. I think it oftentimes naturally happens through experience, being with different partners. Like they'll like something, so then you'll try it and you'll be like, wait, I love that too. Or you know what? That one's not for me. And like it evolves. Some partners you like certain things with, some partners you don't like those things with. Like as you age and mature, you might like new things and stop liking things you used to like. So just like, don't put pressure on yourself, explore yourself, see what happens, bud.
I will say there's also stuff that like you and I do that I did not think that I would like, and I like it.
Great.
I'm just saying, like it can come at any time. Sorry. It can happen at any time in your life where like Cammie said, you might not have liked something back then. You might have thought that it was like absolutely a no-no for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
now you're like,
this hole opens up. And
all right, on that note, I hope everyone has a fabulous day, evening. Go test some stuff out tonight.
If you want to tell us a juicy story that you want us to read on the pod, or you want to ask for advice like our friend here did today, our sleepover buddy, you can just email us at stayinguppod@gmail.com.
There it is.
That's the thing to do. So let us know if you want to be a non, and that'd be lovely.
See you next week.
Thanks for being up with us.
Bye.